Hi, I'm Dr. Becca Hite at Johnson Animal Clinic, and Judy's just has a few questions for me about vaccinations.
All right, Dr. Hite, are all puppy and dog vaccinations necessary?
Not necessarily, depending on your area. Your veterinarian is easier to talk to you about which vaccines and which area you might need. All dogs should be vaccinated for distemper and parvo, and the rest of those vaccines may be considered non-core for your pet.
Okay, and what are the core dog vaccinations?
So the core vaccines right now are distemper, parvo, and rabies. They're starting to consider leptospirosis potentially a core vaccine. Your non-core vaccines are going to be more like influenza, leptospirosis, Lyme vaccine, and Bordetella.
Okay, and are core dog vaccinations mandatory?
Depending on your environment. So the only legal requirement is rabies. We're always going to require in our clinic for grooming or boarding or surgery that you get your distemper parvo, rabies, kennel cough, and the flu, just protect your pet, but also to protect the dogs around them.
Okay, and what are the non-core vaccinations and why does my dog need them?
So in our area, we may not need a vaccine such as Lyme. That is not a core vaccine, but if you're in the Northeast, they're going to require that. And around this area with leptospirosis has made kind of a comeback in the last few years. It's becoming a core vaccine, but your pet might need it if they're not needed, if they're not in the environment of hiking, camping, lots of creeks, where there's a lot of wildlife involved. And Bordetella and flu are going to be necessary if they're going to be around other dogs, grooming, boarding, doggy daycare, dog parks, and that kind of thing.
Okay, and then last question, does my senior dog still need core vaccinations?
So that's a really good question. There are a lot of people concerned with safety of vaccines, but also if my dog has been vaccinated year after year, how many of those vaccines do they really need? Multiple vet schools have recommended those distemper parvo and rabies vaccines to use the 3-year vaccines so that we're not vaccinating 14, 15-year-old dogs. You can also get titers checked to see if the antibodies are present for diseases like distemper and parvo, which I strongly recommend anybody over the age of 11 or 12.
Okay, and then if anyone has any questions regarding core and non-core vaccinations, how should they contact you?
Yeah, so absolutely give us a call. The number is 502-456-2870 or johnsonanimalclinic.com.